myself. I'm Ramey. I write the blog Education, and I'm the mother of 2 Pittsburgh public school students. Most important, I'm going to talk to you a little bit right now about this grassroots movement that you are all a part of. It was almost exactly a year ago today that over 250 people came out in the middle of a snowstorm. Do you remember this last year? I want to tell you what happens when you get 250 people shivering together in the cold and motivated to act. Working together with parents, students, teachers, and community members all over southwestern Pennsylvania, we solidified a grassroots movement for our schools. This is no AstroTurf movement like our opponents have with paid agents and slick media campaigns. We're the real deal. This is grassroots. This is what it looks like. All volunteers. And I want you to know what you did last year because you are amazing. Okay, we're going to run some photos up here and you can see what we look like in action this past year. First of all, we saved $100 million from being cut out of the state budget. Victory. And by blocking those cuts, we saved early childhood and kindergarten programs all over the state. We also prevented Governor Corbett from passing his voucher bill, which he really wanted. It was his #1 goal. Vouchers, of course, drain money from public education and send our taxpayer dollars to private and religious schools. And this is a particularly big deal when you consider how desperately the corporate reform movement wants this key privatization bill. Some of the wealthiest people on the planet poured millions of dollars into our state trying to get this bill, but we won. That fight, but we're going to win it again. And how did we win? We held sidewalk parties to get our friends to call legislators on statewide call-in days. We held mock bake sales, again coordinated with groups all over Pennsylvania, to demonstrate just how many cookies we'd have to sell in order to fill the budget hole for our schools. We held candlelight vigils for our teachers that we lost to those budget cuts. Some of our work got us a lot of national attention. Remember last spring when we broke the news that the Pittsburgh Opera was going to award Governor Corbett with a Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to education? Our protest went viral. We had media coverage literally from coast to coast. And we got not 1 but 2 political cartoons by Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Rob Rogers about that event. He actually did another cartoon this week about public education. And you know your grassroots movement is on fire when Rob Rogers is drawing about you. What about our Manchester miracle? Our call to action about those empty school library shelves over at Pittsburgh Manchester on the north side also went viral. We had thousands and thousands of people all over the world sending us packages of donated books. We literally got packages from Canada, Australia, England. Within a few weeks, the community had wrapped its arms around that school and gave the library all new paint, shelves, computers, furniture, even beautiful murals by a well-known children's artist. And most importantly, the Manchester Miracle let us talk about the persistent problems of equity that allow library shelves to get empty in the first place. And now that work that you all did on Pittsburgh Manchester has spilled over into 2 more Pittsburgh public libraries. And here too, we know our work is not done because too many of our schools don't have a librarian to go with those books.
That's right.
I'm particularly pleased with the way that this movement has engaged students in advocacy for their own education, like the fabulous students who are with us here today. When you kids talk, grown-ups listen. And when students advocate for public education, their voices are empowering. Last year, students traveled to Harrisburg with A+ Schools Teen Block program to talk about equity. We sponsored another bus trip to Harrisburg with PIN and had elementary-age students meeting with their legislators. Local high school students worked with Carlow University's Youth and Media Advocacy Program to design billboards and bus shelter ads. They went up literally right outside the Capitol building in Harrisburg. And the Right Now event, sponsored in partnership with the Western Pennsylvania Writers Project at the Pittsburgh Children's Museum, attracted hundreds of kids and their parents to engage in advocacy for public education. I've been mentioning the names of these other organizations, and our movement has really succeeded because of these partnerships. This is about advocates coming together from Steel Valley to South Fayette, working with groups like PIN and One Pittsburgh here at the local level, and education voters at the state level. Our Education blog now and Facebook page regularly get over 1,400 people reading them, and we're often published in the national media. We were even recognized twice by the White House last year with invitations to go down and meet with President Obama's senior policy advisors. We are definitely making our voices heard. So what do we want to do this year? The governor knows he's vulnerable because of his attacks on public education. In fact, he has the lowest ratings of any governor in Pennsylvania history. Why? Because he's defunding our schools and hoping that private corporations can swoop in to get a piece of our public goods. No. We won't let them. In fact, we're going to demand that we have adequate, equitable, and sustainable public funding for our public schools. This past year has shown that what we do works. We must not give up. And it actually reminds me of an old song. We shall not be moved. Can we get the Squirrel Hillbillies up here? I think I feel a song coming on. Jenny and Gary from the Squirrel Hillbillies are going to sing with us now and help us in We Shall Not Be Moved. Yeah, sing. Sing along. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We made a promise. We made a promise. We shall not be moved. We made a promise. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be.
We want help for teachers.
We want help for teachers. We shall not be moved. We want help for teachers. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
We shall not.
That's planted by the water. We not be moved just like a tree.